So guys, teams are going to remember what you do and what you did earlier in the game. And what do I mean by that? Well, we're going to watch this play here. This is very fascinating now that I'm seeing it. So you have Higbee go out here, and then you have right next to him the very rare case that we see two tight ends on the field. We haven't really seen that much this year. Bryson Hopkins is going to get to the flat here. Now watch what happens here later on, because Bryson Hopkins, if you guys haven't seen the last play of the game, Bryson Hopkins has two defenders on him. So there's a coverage bust that allows Tutu Atwell to get open in one-on-one coverage, and there's a giant zone fit right in the middle of the field for Puka Nacua, who, as we know, gets in the end zone. But I wonder, and this is the thing, I feel, I'm going to say right now, you see Hopkins right here. I'm thinking this is going to later cause them to worry about Hopkins. Now, this is not a take that you've probably heard, but this is why we go back and we watch the film, because 88 is on the field. And for whatever reason, he's getting double teamed at the end of the game. And I could never figure out why until now. And now I know. That's why. That's why they did it. They showed that look earlier in the game. And they're like, all right, well, we're not going to let him beat us. Now we have it in the gun here. Stafford. See Hopkins. Guys, this is the play. Remember what I said. Bryson Hopkins earlier. Right around this area of the field. I'm just saying, you got Tutu Atwell who's going to get open. Van is going to try and get this guy. But here you go. This is the play of the game. Kyron's back in. Pass protection's needed. You have Puka Nacua here. Atwell. So now, look at this. Okay. No one looks open. This pass protection is pristine. Because how on earth are you going to tell me he throws a game-winning touchdown to Puka Nacua? The protection isn't good enough. Boom. There you go. Okay. So, how does this happen? We'll watch this, okay? As this play develops. Look at, what did I tell you guys? They literally took the flat. Remember I was telling you they're going to go to the flat with Bryson Hopkins at the beginning of the game? They did it on the first drive. And I said, remember this, because we're going to bring it up later. And they bring it up later. Look at what this does. This is why I love football. Because this is a story. This tells a story. They did this in the first freaking quarter, and the Colts were like, oh, they did it once before. I'm going to drop down. No, because now Tutu Atwell, they know his explosive ability. Tutu Atwell's over here, okay? You got Van Jefferson. He's locked down. Stafford, when he throws this ball, Nakua's open, man. And look, Atwell has everybody. This guy is looking at Stafford. This guy, Zaire Franklin is following Atwell, and this guy's following Atwell. This play happens because Tutu Atwell's speed and what they set up, what they put on their resume, what they put out there earlier in the game with Bryson Hopkins. So you had to actually, and this is what I talk about, okay? You have to sell them on it. You have to get them to believe that you're actually going to throw there. You're actually going to do it. Guys, you have to keep in mind, this isn't to win the game. This isn't the last play of the game. It becomes the game winner. But all the Colts are thinking is we can't let them score. We can't let them get positive yards. They don't know that Matthew Stafford, who they've seen limp, is going to throw a touchdown on this play. So the two drop here, and they're like, we're taking away the flat. We see the pass rush getting to him. We want to make sure the flat's taken away. This is why football is amazing, because it tells a story. Earlier, they saw this flat by Hopkins. So the Rams threw him back out there at the end of the game when it mattered. And look at this. Like, I mean, they're already like, oh, shit. Hopkins is just a decoy here. This is by design, guys. He's not even a read. You realize that, right? Sean McVay ran the same play just about as he did earlier with the scripted plays. but he waited until overtime to do it. That is awesome. And I picked up on it immediately, not during the game. I picked up on it immediately when we were watching all 22 in the first quarter. And I was like, man, that's crazy. That Hopkins flat route right here, this is just a decoy, and it freaking works. And then his speed, the threat of him, works too. And this is how you get Puka Nacua. Now you're like, all right, 2 guys to beat. Puka Nacua is 6'2", 220. And he's got some speed. He's going to make that guy miss. Tackle me in the end zone. I win. The Hopkins bait was set in the first quarter. I love it. It's the same concept. It's just so brilliant. Watch everyone do their job. Atwell here. You're like, oh, I can't let that speedster beat me. Oh, crap. I forgot about Puka Nacua, the hottest receiver in football. See, oh, like this is entirely a bait. Unreal, man. Just you love to see it. You really do. That's what football's all about. It really is. And it's just, I could watch this all day because it's so perfectly designed. It's not just, and this is the thing that kind of goes over people's heads that don't care about the sport the way, you know, we do, is that, I mean, there was a resume that in place that allowed that to happen. Yep. There's the flat. See what I'm saying? It's a different look. It's not the same look here. It's actually the opposite. They have the bunch formation over here. So he flipped it a little bit, but this gives them the same. This flat route, this is designed to go there. And look at who's coming after him. These 2 guys. Let's look at the actual numbers here. It's 32 and it is 38. Okay. Remember that. 32 and 38. Now, let's just see. I'm not saying that it's definitely the same numbers that do it, but let's go back here. So there's 23 and there's 32. So neither of these guys, neither of these guys were part of that earlier in the game. But it still affected them. Sean McVay, you freaking genius. And that's how it's done, folks. That's how it's done. That's how you come from behind and tie it up at 23 on the Colts side. Anthony Richardson balled out in this game. Dallas Flowers was amazing for the Colts on the defensive side of the ball. Odenigbo was really good. But that's how you win a game despite your quarterback being on one leg. That's how you come back. You win the game in OT. McVay gets a lot of crap, and I've given him crap. That is one of the more impressive overtime drives I've seen. I mean, they were running plays from their scripted drives earlier in the game, and the Colts couldn't stop them. They basically said, we're not going to do anything crazy. We're just going to beat you at what we do the best. You love to see it. The Bryson Hopkins thing, man, that's the thing that just makes me smile. I love that type of shit. It's so impressive that they went with the flat earlier in the game on the second scoring drive, and then they go back to it, and it totally gets them to bite. 2 guys are on Hopkins. That doesn't just happen. That's like, and that's intelligent football because they're thinking, okay, we saw it earlier in the game. They will actually do that. So you love it, man. You really love to see it. It's such great play calling. It's such great play design and game planning and strategizing. I'm excited for the Eagles game, man. I think they can win. I have them winning 27-24. We'll see what happens, but I'm feeling pretty good about that game. I'm not going to lie.